Hey, peace, love and light to you all, family. Welcome to another YouTube video with me, your host, Mathix. I wanna quickly do this video because of an experience that I had last night. I wanna talk to you about lucid dreaming. I hope that, more than anything, I hope that the information that you get on this channel, it helps you in your life. And I also hope that you put it into practice. And by putting it into practice, I mean that you also do your own research, that you look into some of the stuff that I talk about. You source, you look at different places, you look at inside of yourselves, because that's the only way you're going to grow, is by applying the information, by doing certain things. So today I want to talk to you about lucid dreaming, because I'm a lucid dreamer. I have a lot of lucid dreams. It may take me a while sometimes, and then other times it happens like consecutively. So I had a lucid dream last night, and I thought, hey, let me make a video about that. So I'm calling this the Art of Lucid Dreaming, and you'll see why. I'll explain that as the video goes on. I won't be long. So what is lucid dreaming? Let's start there. Lucid dreaming is when you are in a dream, you're sleeping, and you become aware that you are dreaming. So you basically, most dreams just happen and we are unaware until we wake up and, oh, I had this dream. But lucid dreaming is when, while you are having the dream, you're like, oh my word, I'm lucid dreaming. And then you can be able to take hold of the dream. So there's certain things that I've noticed in my many lucid dreams. And one of them is that sometimes there's beings, and this is something that I'm still trying to figure out in my journey. There's beings in the lucid dream space that once they know that you are lucid, it's either they stare at you or they come towards you. Usually for me, it's once they notice that I'm lucid, they come towards me, like I draw attention. And once I draw that attention, basically like a lot of chaos begins to happen, to the point where now I wake up, or these beings begin to come towards me as if like I've stepped in a place that I'm not supposed to be lucid in, but I'm lucid anyway. And I think that's happening because of two things. Number one, sometimes when we lucid dream, I think we tap into other dimensions and realms where we're dealing with psychic entities, and they can tell, because we are multidimensional. Sometimes we tap into other spaces in different avatar bodies, but we look like ourselves because we're so familiar with ourselves here. But we may be actually taking on different body suits in other dimensions. That's one part that I think is happening in these dreams, where these beings notice you, and they come towards you. It's like they almost try to shake you awake so that you can leave that space. Usually those happen if there's people or entities in your lucid dream. Other lucid dreams can happen where there's no people, and you can explore, the environment. Once you become lucid in the dream, you can begin to explore, because you're dreaming. Lucid dreams can be very fun, and sometimes I remember I once had this lucid dream, I think it was early this year, where it felt like it was a whole day, like the sun was out, it was bright, it felt like I lived a whole day in that lucid dream. So that was a very interesting thing. Now, another thing that I think is happening with the lucid dream, which ties back to the physical reality that we are in, is that I think that there are certain programs put forth by the matrix or by the system as a defense mechanism. And you see this when you begin to awaken consciously. Now, we're not talking about just the dreams. I'm talking about real time here, or what we call real time. When you begin to awaken to your history, to the history of the world, and not the history that they teach us that they taught us in school, because that's false history. But I'm talking about the history of the authentic history that you find through your own research. When you begin to learn this and you begin to learn about the lies and the miseducation of church and school and all these things, and you begin to say it, then people, either your friends or your family, people who you were associating with, once you begin to have a paradigm shift, when you begin to say other things, it's almost as if now it's like, whoa, bro, but I thought we were about, once you start questioning Jesus, or you start questioning God, and not like God, it isn't like, does God exist, but the way that they say, oh, God is a man with hair and blonde and blue eyes, and he's gonna send you to hell. Once you begin to question that type of God, and once you begin to question the whole story of existence, and what they've said is true, then you get people, now you draw attention to yourself, as if now all of a sudden, just like in the lucid dream, people almost want you to stop that. Like, no, because why? You are disturbing their sleep. Remember, if you are unaware, if you are unenlightened, and being enlightened is not like a privilege, it's just the thing that is, it's a gift, it's an inheritance that is due to everyone, but it happens at different times. So if you awaken before others, and you start to say certain things, that truth at that moment in their evolution, they cannot comprehend it, so you are disturbing their sleep. Hey, what is this that you are talking about? I know you're antichrist. That's some demonic stuff. Because once you really start to talk about real spirituality, like astral projections and out-of-body experiences, star traveling, lucid dreaming, remote viewing, the Merkaba, light, the chakras, kundalini energy. Once you begin to say these things to, let's say, someone who just goes to church, who says they're a Christian, it sounds like, no. When you talk about astrology, numerology, once you begin to say these things, it sounds like, what? No, just, you need Jesus' name, it's a foreign thing, and that's all because of religion. What religion did to spirituality through the conquest of the Romans, when they decided to create one religion that they would use to now dominate or conquer or rule the world through. So they took different cultures and different religions, and they put together this one religion that they now came forth and said, okay, this is Christianity. And then everyone else who was practicing some type of thing that they weren't agreeing with, that went against the church, they killed those people, called them witches and wizards and all that thing. So all these things became something that people became afraid of throughout the ages. But now it's coming back, because now we're beginning to understand, these people were just using this to psychologically control us through tithing, and like people had to pay priests. People thought that they had to pay priests certain amounts of money in order to make it into hell. They thought that the priest was the mediator between them and God. So they scared people with hell. They scared people with the afterlife. They scared people with so many things. So now people are so used to that when they hear these ancient truths begin to come forth again, what happens? You disturb their sleep. So I think that's another thing that happens psychologically in these lucid dreams, is that it's a reflection of what happens in the physical. When you awaken in the physical world, there's people who you disturb their sleep now, because remember, ignorance is bliss, and once you begin to talk about certain things, then you're disturbing that ignorance. So that's another thing that I think is happening with these beings. But that's something really that I'm very curious about, as to what these entities are. Now let's get into the art of lucid dreaming. To learn how to lucid dream, the first thing that you need to understand is that you right now, the state is a dream. You are in a dream right now. It feels real, but it's this stuff is made up of the things that dreams are made of. it's here now and gone one moment. It's fleeting, it's moving, you can't hold it. It's just that the body processes it differently because of its density. But the moment you step into a different avatar body, which is your astral body, when you dream at night, the vibration is much more subtle. So things happen very fast. Time is non-linear. You hear one moment, then you hear another moment. But that's the nature of life as well. It's the nature of life as well. So what I do most of the time is that I tell myself that, like, I could be driving or I could be doing something. I always think to myself, I'm like, damn, this is a dream. This is a dream. This is a dream. And the more I say that in this state, I become conscious of that. So much so that my subconscious mind even knows it. That it takes that programming and then it transfers it also into the astral world. And then there I'm able to also pick up, hey, this is a dream. So if you want to know how to become lucid in the dreams of sleep, understand that the dream that you are dreaming in this dream of wakefulness, this is a dream, but you must be conscious of it. You must be, oh, I'm dreaming. You're dreaming of yourself. There's a higher entity, there's a higher spark that is animating this body, this name that you think you are. The only thing that's giving you this illusion is because it's so continuous. It's so continuous. It seems so linear. Oh, I was 1 year old, then I went to high school, but it's a dream. What makes it even more powerful is that the thing that is dreaming this is of a godly nature. It's a divine spark, so that's why it's real. When God's dream, life happens. This is what's happening. And then when you die, in the ancient times, they called it it's basically like a rite of passage. They call this world the upside down world. And when you die, you are turned right side up, and then you go into the true state or into the true realms, into true life, right? But that also is determined by the amount of awareness that you were able to have in this dream or in this reality. Did you become lucid enough here? That's why after death in the ancient Egyptians, they measured, or they used that symbolism of measuring your heart on the scales of Ma'at. So what they did, there's a scale, right? So when a person dies, there's an entity called the Anubis, which is a guardian of the afterlife. So when someone's soul departs, there's an Anubis. When you see a man with the head of a jackal, and the reason they use the jackal is because the jackal is a scavenger. Remember, this is very symbolic stuff. It's a scavenger. So they use that as a way to say, or a dog, to say that, oh no, it deals with things that have died. So it becomes the guardian. It's the god. It's the guardian of the door that takes you into the afterlife. And then he balances your heart against the feather of against the scales of Ma'at. So there's the feather. They take your heart and then they put it on one side of the scale, and then they put a feather. And if your heart is heavier than the feather, then it means the feather represents thoughts, the mind, because the feather is of the wind, is taken from a bird, and birds so high in the sky. So the sky represents also Heru, which is the sky god, which deals with sight, which deals with the mind, with spiritual flight, with thoughts. So if your thoughts were attached by your time of death, if you were too attached to the physical, be it whatever, your job, your kid, whatever, like and attachment doesn't mean that to be detached doesn't mean that you don't love something or someone, right? But this is an unhealthy attachment to the point where you identify so much with that you think that it's real, but it's merely just the dance of God. So So they would put the heart against the feather. And if your heart was heavier, then it meant that you were not ready to cross over. So that person would then get recycled back into another life to try again, to raise their vibration. And if they fail, they come back again. But each life you were to raise your vibration, and you were to understand more and more of, oh, wait, I'm not the body. I'm the thing, or I'm the consciousness experiencing the body. And once you know that, your heart becomes lighter, because then all things that happen, you don't attach to them. You are aware of them, but there's no attachment. You see, so you become lucid. You become lucid. So become a lucid dreamer. Become a lucid dreamer. Another way that you do this is by practicing or doing breathing meditations, breathing techniques. Because when you breathe slowly, you activate your higher wheels of light. And when they begin to spin, then you begin to become more conscious in different dimensions of yourself. You become conscious of yourself in many states, because now you're not just functioning at the lower wheels of light, which deal with the physical body, which means when you sleep, you always just dream of physical things. You're eating, you're running, you're scared, you're jumping, but the more you begin to have these dreams, then you dream of mystical beings. You can even take spiritual flight. You go to the stars, because there's more. Your consciousness expands more. So breathe slow, do certain breathe conscious breaths. There's many different breathing techniques, meditations that you can do. I'll speak about them probably someday in the future, but that's not that's not for here. But learn how to take conscious breaths, and then also affirm that, oh, I'm dreaming. This is a dream. And once you know that this is a dream, you don't attach to things. People may come in, someone swears at you, you're not oblivious, but you don't attach to. It's basically, now you know that you are a player in a game. And so you take control of the game, and the game doesn't control you. So that's what lucid dreaming is all about, family. So yeah, that's just basically what I wanted to drop for you here today. That remember that you are in a dream right now. And even when you go to sleep, as I'm about to, you are stepping into another dream, a dream within a dream. Watch that movie Inception. That's a very nice movie. There was in that movie, the thing I spoke about in the beginning, where the subconscious of one person notices that someone is dreaming, then that person, they attack the person. So that's a very interesting phenomena. But yeah, so family, peace, love, and light to you all. Happy September, happy spring, happy New Year. Some say that September is the new year. Yeah, man, just let's grow, family. It's good times. It's good times. Use this age to grow yourself and expand yourself. So yeah, peace, love, and light to you all, family. Thank you so much for your subscriptions, and those who haven't subscribed, do subscribe, do share the channel, and yeah, peace, love, and light, family. Much love.